next speaker will be Joseph Feckanin, speaking for St. Casimir.
Thank you, Stan. Wait till they fly. Oh, not fly, just a train going by. You know, I was never really active Catholic. I went to Mass every week, said my prayers. I went with my mother to church when I was small, and then all of a sudden, I was at St. Casimir's, and I'd go there occasionally. I belonged to 2 other Polish churches, and I'm sitting in there, and I'm waiting for something to happen, you know, the lightning to strike or something to go on. And I says, we got to do something. And people milled around after this earlier Mass, the late Mass no one was coming to. And there was about 800 people, 1,000 people there maybe at that early Mass. And then at the later Mass, about 300-400 people showed up because they were sort of boycotting it. And you know, and it's hard to get the news out nowadays. And something happened at that later Mass. A 96-year-old man, about 5'4", 138 pounds, maybe 140 pounds, who spent 6 years at Bergen-Belsen POW concentration camp, pulled the plug on the bishop. His name is Walter. I was going to bring him today, but I was figuring he was going to be heated up. He's going to be 99 now. I see him every week in church, and I thought to myself, wow, he pulled the plug on him, and then all of a sudden the women got up, women and children. You know, just like when Jesus was crucified at the cross, who was there? His mother and the other women were there. The men weren't there. You know, they're hiding. The women pushed them, you know. And then all of a sudden people came in from the outside, and the Spirit just took over. And from that moment on, I was energized. And I don't know how it happened, but on the cars outside, someone said, let's have a procession. And Father Wahaba, the Polish-speaking priest, he spoke little English. He understood English. The excuse that he got thrown away to the diocese, he doesn't know English well enough. But, you know, in Cleveland, we had, what, 17, 18, 20 Polish churches? And during the last few years, 11 disappeared. And they were all well supported. So what happened is they dedicated the church to the Blessed Mother. And that's what really started the movement. And that energized us. And after that, a couple of weeks later, the week later, they started a prayer vigil. I didn't come to the 3rd prayer vigil. And then I wrote an article. And then the next week after that, I wrote another article and another one. And the neighborhood newspaper that I volunteer to write for, they asked me to write something on the Polish items going on. I had about 55 articles. And I tied in every parish around. But I have to thank Bishop Lennon for one thing. I would have not known all these Slovaks, all these Hungarians, all these Irishmen, all these Protestants. I would have not known them if it wasn't for him, because I was on the southeast side of the city. I was busy every day. You know, when you're going through life, I know a lot of people in the Broadway area, but they sort of scattered out. But now I know people from Westlake and Akron and everything, and you know, it feels good. And you know, I can't give up. I stay up sometimes all night long, and I call up my right-hand man, Stan, to check my spelling. See, I'm terrible on filing, but I'm good on ideas. And he comes through for me because I have a deadline in the paper. But just to give you another idea, today, what we're doing here, all over the United States, the same thing is going on. And the different cities are starting to connect with each other. Today, a Polish church, this morning, they were closed yesterday by their bishop. And I used to work up there once in a while in Holyoke, Springfield area, Mata Dolorosa. They took over the church this morning. Peter Borey sent me a communique, and he says, pleased to report that today's closing Mass at Mata Dolorosa, City of Holyoke, Diocese of Springfield, parishioners announced the beginning of a peaceful and prayerful vigil in protest of the closing of their church, which has a proud Polish-American tradition. Springfield now has 2 ongoing vigils, St. Stanislaus Costa in Adams, and this one now. So it's not over. People tell me, I ask people to come out today, and he said, well, it's over with. No, it's not over with, because your church may be next the next day. We have to stop this now. And any of you people that have any idea how communism works, this works the same way. My wife was born in Poland, southern Poland, and Ralph Vardabidian from the LA Times came to my house last year in April. And he asked her a question. She says, just like communism. And that's why we're linking up with each other. You know, I look in the audience here, I see my Irish Brigade, I nicknamed them that. They're over there. Two of the gals. We hear about 20 people, Irish Heritage, coming out there. And I asked Marie one day, what do you think of all this? And she said, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. And I kept that in my eye. I kept that in my mind, I should say. And everywhere I go, what she said is wrong. And then in April, I was outside the gates of Casimir, because we're out there all the time. And a little boy came up, prayer leader's boy. He's about 5 years old now. He started off, he was 3.5. And little Daniel said to me, Mr. Joe, he says, how come the gates are locked on this church? How come we can't go inside? It's cold out here. Mommy's in the car. And his mother's pregnant. She's in about a 7th month at that time. And he says, how come we can't go in there? I says, well, the bishop won't let us in there. He says, that's bad. We should take the church back. So, you know, if we stand here, as I said, I'm a Polish Catholic, but now I'm an Irish Catholic, I'm a German Catholic, I'm a Hungarian Catholic, because there's good in all people. You know, you could have someone in your family that's not that great. But we all have to keep standing up and tell these bishops no, N-O, to what they're doing. So I just want to conclude this, and I'm going to keep on writing until they stick me in jail or something. You know, but I want to thank you for the opportunity to be up here, and whatever I can do, I'm going to keep on doing it.